Hey everybody, it's BlondieHound, bringing you the game Massive Chalice. Massive Chalice, what is it? It is a strategy tactics game, and we'll get into more about how that is. But this is a game that was on Xbox Live for free with gold in July. It was one of the first games I downloaded, and I've played it a lot since then. I really enjoy it because it's got a new twist on strategy tactic games. So, without further ado, let's try and jump into this, and we'll get into how this game is a strategy tactic game in a moment here. So, I have played through this game a few times before. But we're going to start a new game. This is game 5, and we're going to stick with thematic, serious names. Choose between thematic, serious, or non-thematic, silly names and sigils of your heroes, many of which were created by our community. Right? And we're not going to play on hard, we're going to play on normal. And the reason for that is because this game, even on normal, will still kick my ass. I've played, different strategy games from like Civilizations. I've played tactic games like XCOM. I've played all kinds of different games that involve strategy and tactics, and I love them, but this game still kicks my ass even on its easiest difficulty, which is normal. So we're gonna put on the tutorial, more for you guys than me. I know how to play. We won't be putting on Iron Mode, simply because I don't know how stable some of my recordings are going to be. And I have tried to record this before. I recorded 5 hours. And, well, not 5, I think it was more like 4 hours. I recorded 4 hours and lost the first 2 hours of the recording for some odd reason. So we're not going to be doing Iron Mode, but we are going to just jump into this, and we'll start explaining things as we go along. So here we choose houses, and this is important to the strategy of things. As you can see, there's 100 different names, thousands of different names. You can like flip pages of shit and that. So I'll probably jump cut this part for you guys. But yeah, I will have all of these have actual houses in them, ones that I've chosen. As far as I know, you can't build anymore unless you are a patron of the game. So yeah. Anyway, jump cut. Alright, okay, so we're back. I have chosen some different clans, houses, names, that kind of thing. Paige, Garisha. I did not choose that one out of the ability to pronounce it. I chose it because I remember this family from a different game I played, and they actually have, or they had, probably some of the greatest characters ever when I played. So, Hitchcock, Wolf, and Fletcher. Now, the reason why we have all these families is because in the strategy of the game, well, I feel like I should just jump into this and let you see as we go. But let's just say that each house has a different thing that you need to be careful of in the long strategy of the game. So you have to kind of look at each house in particular, and the whole thing with this is that really there is no stats for these houses. It's just once you get into the game, the houses will have stats, and you have to be careful of those stats. You can choose really any house you want from this. I just chose ones that I particularly could pronounce: Fletcher, Wolf, Hitchcock, and Page. This being the only one I remember from a previous game that I had a random house just pop up, and this was the house. So, yeah, let's let's get into this, and we'll see how things go, eh?
It's taking too long.
Patience.
Patience? I don't see what patience has to do with this. It should have happened by now.
Life keeps to its own timetable, not ours.
Oh, doesn't stop us from trying. Good morning!
Your ruler has risen. Rejoice, and let bellow the horns of birth. Immortal protector of the nation, progeny of the great bloodlines, master of strategies, eternal conductor, and forger of matrimony.
We're here to advise you on how to handle ruling and commanding every time.
The horns of battle.
Fine, we'll have to do this later. The Cadence is attacking. Heroes, jump in! The ruler will be with you shortly!
And off they go.
We'll explain later. We just need you to take command, because our citizens, understandably, find it hard to trust a giant talking chalice.
We are not just a giant talking chalice.
But the nation will listen to you, because you're of their blood.
Forged from the bloodlines of the great houses.
Oh, and one last thing. Unfortunately, the bloodline ritual that was used to create you also bound you to us. So you can never leave the throne.
But do not despair. You can still command your heroes. Look inward, and you will find that your mind can follow them anywhere.
Alright. Let's get into this.
You see your heroes yet? Yeah? Great.
Now, take command and search the area. The Cadence is out there somewhere.
Alright. And traits. So we'll get into that later. Here, so to move desired location, press A to move your hero. Yeah, so as you can see, there is there's a bit of a thing here going on that you have to kind of get used to. But this is the tactics part of the game. 2 AP, 1 AP, 0 AP. A hero has 2 action points to spend during their turn. You can press Y to fortify or forfeit all remaining action points for a hero. So yeah, this is basically they have 2 moves that they can make per turn. If you decide to go like a good distance away from where they started, it will use both action points because they're basically dashing. So movement boundaries. Moving a hero with colored inner boundary will use 1 action point and allow the hero to perform an additional action. So this is what I was talking about. Moving a hero within the outer dashed line border will use both action points and end their turn. So yeah, if you move them far, they will use both action points and they will end their turn right away. So you gotta be careful about how you're moving them. So yeah, and I can move him again. Let's move this guy. Now, those 2 characters that you heard earlier, they do have things to say about each of these units, but right now, because it's in tutorial mode, they're not talking about them, so we'll just wait for them to explain what's going on. You can move your heroes in any order you like. You can cycle through your available heroes with LB and RB. So, as you can see, yeah. Now we're gonna move you. We're gonna move you here. Now you can see their hit points above their heads there. 13, 10, 12, and 10, 10. So we have 3 people with 10 hit points, 2 people with above 10 or above 11 hit points, so yeah. And we'll move you over here. Now I'm probably going to be playing a lot riskier than I usually do for games, or usually play this game, which is another reason why we're...
There we are.
First catch of the day.
We can't tell you much about the Cadence because not much is known. It's old, first sighted centuries ago, and it cares only for destroying our nation with its corruption.
That's where pawns like you see here come in. Think of them as attack dogs the Cadence creates to spread corruption in the world.
Yeah. I'm probably going to be playing this a lot more risky because of obvious reasons of entertainment. So we're going to use this opportunity to see how risky I can get. Another reason why we're playing on normal, not hard. So, and let's move you here.
That could have been worse. At least they belong to heroic bloodlines.
Oh yes, we forgot to mention, normal humans cannot survive even a single touch from the Cadence, but because the bloodlines of your heroes are attuned to us and have our power flowing through them, they have a fighting chance.
Yeah. So, there's that to consider. Now I can attack this guy for 9 to 13 damage, and I have an 88% chance of hitting him. Why do I only have an 88% chance of hitting this guy? What the hell, man? Let's do it. Oh, yay.
How about that, eh?
One down, untold millions to go.
Your hero's chance to hit is shown next to the enemy's hit point flag. Ranged attacks can miss their targets completely. Melee attacks will never miss, but can sometimes glance for greatly reduced damage. So, thankfully we didn't have a, glancing blow. But, yeah, a glancing blow really sucks when you're hoping that they will do a full amount of damage when they're not going to. So let's just put this guy over here. Oh.
Seeds. Arguably the lowliest of pawns are more nuisance than menace.
But if you're going to remember one thing, don't let those runts form a posse. Keep them apart.
Otherwise it'll be like when caberjacks get together at a tavern.
Except not the best night of your life.
Yeah. I wish they would talk about the characters that you have, because it's important for later on in the game to know what you're doing. Oh shit, that was a glancing blow. So even though I had the minimum amount of damage I could do was I think 9, a glancing blow does significantly less damage than even your basic attacks. So let's move this guy into position and have him attack.
And good riddance, you deplorable beast of pestilence!
So as you can see, I have a melee characters, I have ranged characters, and then there's this guy over here, which we'll get into what he does later on. But let's just say that I've played through this game and lost because I was not thinking fully about the strategy of certain things. Ouch. He did quite a bit of damage. Yeah, so the max damage I can do with this character is, the max damage is 14, and the least amount of damage I can do is 10. However, a glancing blow will do 2. So, glancing blows are really, really bad. But yeah. And that did not quite max damage, but not quite minimum damage, so yeah. Hero skills. Your hero skills are located along the bottom of the screen. Use LT or RT to select a skill. Select a target with L stick and perform the skill using A. Many skills have cooldowns or limited uses, so use them wisely. Yeah, so I can, for this character, move stealthily, which allows me to go up to a solid object, or a full, if you've played XCOM, full cover, and basically hide like that. And they turn, for us, transparent, but they can be completely invisible for the enemy, or they are completely invisible for the enemies. So I'm gonna move these two guys who have this ability, which are my archers, or later on they'll be known as hunters, around. So we're going to try and travel into there. These guys are in a different position. And this is an alchemist. Estelle Hitchcock. You can see their names in the bottom left. Oh shit.
Lapses.
Cadence cowards. They'd rather stay back and snipe at you than fight up close.
Be wary. If your heroes are hit, they may forget some of their combat training. The mind is just as vulnerable as the body.
So this is the one enemy that I both... is a fairly easy enemy to deal with, but because of what they do, they're one of my most hated. They will take experience points away from your heroes, which is kind of a bad thing. Especially if you've played XCOM and you know that, like, with more experience you get more skills and points in that. These guys will actually completely de-level your heroes if you're not careful, so I really dislike them. So we're gonna see if I can't make it with that character. Okay. Let's see if I can move you into position and kill. Ooh, I won't be able to do a full damage, but I can try. 10 points, not the worst thing I could have done. Let's see if this character can get into position to hit this thing as well. Now, thankfully, right now, because of the weaponry being used, I have no friendly fire on. But there is a weapon that allows arrows to go through multiple targets, including your own people, so gotta be careful about that. Attack icons. As you select a potential movement location for a hero, helpful icons appear on the enemy's HP flags. Your hero could perform a direct ranged attack on the enemy from this tile. Your hero could throw a flask at the enemy from this tile. Your hero will be able to see the enemy from this tile. Alright, so that basically tells you, yeah, where enemies can be seen from and what you can do while you're seeing them. So, for instance, I can see this guy from over here. So, we'll move you over here. Now, the big problem is that they can also see me. So, yeah.
This is a caberjack. They hit things with a caber. Sometimes they hit hard and put things down. Other times they hit not so hard and just knock things out.
That's all you're going to say?
Simplest way of life there is.
Caberjacks. Profound purveyors of violence.
So right there we just got a description of the unit that I just selected, and this is a caberjack. So yeah. And now that I know that they're going to give descriptions of each one, I'll rotate through them all and let you guys hear what the game has to say about them. Come on. Fuck, he's getting beat up. Oh, he's on 3 health points. That's not good.
Ah, you found one of our alchemists. A brilliant mind in a delicate body.
Not worth much in a close quarters battle, but they make up for it with their nasty exploding flasks.
Just watch out for friendly fire.
The explosions are big, so aim well, or keep your heroes back. Trust us, you don't want to be on the receiving end of one of their concoctions.
Yeah, so this is basically like a grenadier, somebody who carries a lot of explosives on them. As you can see on the bottom, throw flask, free throw. The 5 times is literally for both of them, so if you use one ability, it will use the number on the other one as well. So I only have 5 that I can actually throw during a battle. So these guys are fairly, like, they're basically a crowd control. So if a bunch of them gather up in one spot, this is the person that you use to deal with them. So, like, for instance, over here, I have a 59% chance of hitting, so I'm gonna wait and move some of my heroes out of the way. So we'll move this guy over here. Now I'm gonna switch over.
Here you have the hunter. Attacking at close range is good, but attacking from afar, where one can think and plan, is better.
If you listen closely, you might be able to hear your group leaving you behind as you line up that perfect shot.
Actually, the hunter will be in front of the group, stealthily scouting ahead.
Is that what they say they're doing?
So, as you can guess, these two characters have different viewpoints on what your units should do, but yeah, we learn more about them as time goes on, so we'll move this guy out of the way as well, simply because it's easier for me to target these guys, and if I miss, well, fuck, I missed. So we're gonna aim for here, and that will hopefully kill these two guys. And you see there, I just missed. 59%, not such a great percent chance of hitting things, so I can still use these guys to try and knock them down. Defeat all the Cadence pawns to secure the keep. So yeah, I have to defeat all of these guys to basically win this battle. And that's the same for every map that we play on. So while some of the strategies get a little more interesting, it's basically the same type of battle over and over again. But yeah, let's try and hit this guy. There we go.
Now tell me that wasn't fun.
And there we go. We
That went better than I expected.
Well done, well done. I knew you'd have a knack for this.
Alright, so we've finished the battle. Details. Now, skill points. Charge, unlocked at level 2, dash in a straight line to cover more ground, or ram another character. The further the charge, the more damage and knockback delivered. So we have to get that one first because we can't go further down in the tree until we get the top ones. So it'll be between these two next, these two, and these two, and then finally this. So we have another character who leveled up. Follow-up, unlocked at level 2, grants a quick hip-fire crossbow shot for 50% damage if the first shot hits. So yeah, this is, I found, useful, but it's not normally the thing that I go for these guys, and you'll see what I mean by that later on. But we'll proceed and get on with the strategy part of this game.